So, lately, I've been thinking a lot about GEESE. Not those geese. These guys. It's been a long time since a good old-fashioned guitar band has excited me this much. If you haven't heard of them, GEESE are a band from New York. Previously 5 people, now 4. Cameron Winter, Emily Green, Max Bassin, and Dominic DeGizu. Also Sam when they play live. People are already dubbing GEESE Gen Z's answer to rock and roll. But what's interesting about them isn't their surface level similarity to what's come before, but what it means to be a band in 2025, when that, seemingly, isn't important anymore. GEESE formed in high school in Brooklyn, releasing their debut album Projector on Partisan Records in 2021. This first album was scrappy but intricate. If I had to describe it, I'd say art rock meets post-punk, maybe with a little bit of 70s psychedelia sprinkled in for good measure. It did pretty well, but it was their second studio album that really started to turn heads. If Projector was the sound of a band figuring out who they were, 2023's 3D Country was the sound of them realising they could do whatever they want. It's a weird album, like, in a good way. It swings between this soupy southern rock and a kind of surreal cowboy psychedelia. It feels theatrical and unself-conscious. It's also ambitious in a way that doesn't feel strategic, more like a group of friends chasing ideas just to see what happens. Beneath all the cowboy imagery and the big unhinged choruses, there's also this rich bed of emotion. The album's about identity, faith, growing up. Lyrically, it feels unembarrassed, which starts to make sense when you learn about the band's frontman and principal songwriter, Cameron Winter. Cameron is undoubtedly special. He released his first solo album, Heavy Metal, at the end of 2024, and it was massive. After the spectacle of 3D Country, Cameron seemed to retreat inwards. Heavy Metal is a Van Morrison-y dirge of folky bluesy melancholy, with beautifully poignant songwriting and effortlessly pleasing production. I really liked it. This was my first introduction to Cameron, and also my first introduction to GEESE as a band. Possibly because of its success, a lot of people listen to heavy metal before listening to any GEESE at all. And I actually think you'd be forgiven if you completely dismissed the band because of it. I certainly did. I liked their music, but I wasn't exactly ready to call it the future of rock and roll yet. I was more ready to watch Cameron forge his own solo career. That was until a few weeks ago, when GEESE released their most recent album, Getting Killed. I've been listening to Getting Killed a lot, and it's the reason I wrote this whole video. I think I like it even more than I like heavy metal. The band's sound feels fully developed now, and it's really satisfying to hear what I love from Cameron's solo stuff being incorporated into this new album. His vocals have shifted from the zany, almost cartoonish delivery on 3D Country into something far more controlled and affecting. There are these moments of gospel-like harmony that feel genuinely moving. The band are also experimenting more boldly with rhythm and structure, but in a way that feels purposeful rather than chaotic. Overall, their music has softened without losing its edge. The lyrics cut deeper, and the guitars, once sharp and restless, now feel more measured and almost tender. As an album, it carries itself with a weathered confidence usually reserved for a band at the end of their career. But this is clearly just the beginning. Listening back through their earlier work now really shows how quickly they're evolving. It feels like the end of one chapter and the start of another. The moment where GEESE stop sounding like a band full of potential and start sounding like the band they were always meant to be. And people are noticing. Getting Killed seems to be doing really well, and honestly, who knows where they're going to go from here. Ultimately, I'm just finding it fascinating watching a new band emerge. It all somehow feels really fresh and new again. With culture feeling overwhelmingly curated and bursting with content, maybe it's just refreshing to find a return to the stripped-back simplicity of a guitar band. With people becoming fatigued with AI slop and the growing distance between artists and the art itself, It feels genuinely refreshing to see music like this find a footing in an industry that's somehow becoming less and less about the humans that make it possible. So maybe this is why GEESE matter. Not because they're the harbinger of a new musical revolution, or Gen Z's answer to rock and roll, but because they remind us of what's still worth protecting in our music. Sincerity. GEESE don't seem obsessed with legacy or myth or algorithms. They're not trying to outsmart the internet. They're just writing songs, playing shows, and getting better in real time. And you know what? Maybe that is exactly what we need. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.